Welcome to the Boss Capital channel. My name is Michael Chu. This is part 2 video, which we will talk about the growth stocks list I follow since July 14th. So it's been almost 2.5 months since we have all the earnings results for the last quarter. Now we are heading into new October and new earnings will be coming out. And we'll see lots of those by the end of the month and earlier next month. So we are going to earnings season and stocks will be moving based on that. And we have a tremendous run for some of the stocks. Some of them are still running, and it's unbelievable how far they can run when we have a strong rally. But we are also seeing lots of stocks starting to break down. So that is also the caveat to what's happening right now. Because looking at the major index, you think everything is, nice and green, but that is not the case. This week we are seeing 1/3 roughly, like 35 to 36%. I've never seen this consistency on a daily basis for a long time. Almost every day, 36 to 35% of the stocks are in uptrend. So meaning they're very stable. The ones that are moving up, they continue to move up. And then, the ones that are in downtrend, there's way more in downtrend. There's over, a lot more in downtrend, and there's only some in the neutral area within 1% of the short-term moving average. We are seeing some new highs still happening recently, 40 to 50, 60 even, of these stocks are the ones in uptrend that are still making highs. So that is still not bad, if you are in those stocks. Actually, on my growth stock list that I go through every week. Before we go through the stocks on this list, I want to bring you back to the sectors group here that I track from technology, retail, industrial, health, commodities, energy, and financial. Throughout the whole week here, from Monday to Friday, we see that the net of the accumulation, the number of accumulations, stocks under accumulation minus distribution, are mostly positive for industrials, health, and commodities, with health being dominating this week. As you can see, the numbers here rising. So this is very interesting because health stocks really did well this week. And then commodities, which has been doing really well, especially in the precious metals group, that has come off a little bit this week. There was some selling, but overall we still end the week at the high here. So it's still moving in some of those stocks. And then we see some industrial stocks also picking up here. And then we have technology and retail and financial, definitely being the weakest here on financial. It just hasn't done anything for 2 weeks now. And then tech and retail also hasn't done, overwhelmingly more positive, right? It's more negative here. So looking at this list here is ranked by performance, based on price since July 14 to now, October 3rd. And here are the stock symbols right here. And we can see where they close relatively, whether they're on the daily or on the weekly chart, whether they're at the highs here. You can see ESPR meeting new highs there, relative strength wise. And then we also see that they're in the uptrend still above, their 10, 21-day moving average. And then we see that they're also making recent high based on this time frame here. So this is the highest right now in terms of for this stock. So here we see the industry group and sector here. Most of them at the top here, you see lots of blues, right? Again, a lot of mining, gold, silver, gems here. See some solar stock at the top here. Again, lots of mining, gold, silver in the top 25 here. We're seeing health stocks, biotech moving as well. More health stocks here, more health stocks, And we see some light green color, which is aerospace defense, which has been doing well. We see a security safety stock, machinery, building heating products here. A couple of retail here, wholesale food, auto truck, right? So just a different range. And then we go down the next 25 here. We still see lots of commodities area. We're starting to see a little bit more technology, but although most of the technology are probably like moving down slightly, some of them still going up. And then we see some industrial. Anyhow, so just to give you a sense of where the market is still overall positive. There's areas that are still working. As long as there's areas that are still working, There can be money made based on, following the momentum. Today, I'm going to go by sector just because we are seeing overwhelmingly like more favorite into like health stocks. So let's start with that. And again, you can see all the ones that are hitting new highs here. ESPR. So this is Esperon Therapeutics. It pulled back recently after this nice strong run. It pulled back and then it really took off after that, and it was a huge move on Friday, 13%. Next, we have Prime Medicine here. This is also a biotech stock. We have this nice base, breaks out, but then it pulled back slightly to the 10-day, and then from there, we are able to also rise significantly. I see a big move here on Thursday. And Friday, we did have a reversal, and look at how fast, because this is a less than $10 stock. So the price movement is much more significant in terms of percentage movement. So you can see it already hit 34% right here. PTAI is still in downtrend. SNDX within 1%. PEM is still in uptrend right now. We see two stocks here making new recent high. UTHR and TARS. Here's UTHR. Nice pullback here, found support, and then here's the bounce. So that could be having your entry point, and now it's looking very sharp for at least 45-degree angle. Next we see TARS. Look at TARS. Nice tight trading here, found support here on Thursday. Friday it just took off. So not all stocks are equal, as I will keep saying that. There's more stocks down than up. And even in the strongest group right now, we're seeing that. You can see lots of downtrend stocks here, right? AVDL, PHC, ALNY, Econ, ALHC, MERM here, right? We'll see KNSA, ARDT still holding up here. MDGL, PTSG within 1% of the moving average. We have ARQT, LLY. So it's here ARQT here. This is ARQT Biotherapeutics making a move here out, and I believe, yeah, that was Monday, and then from there it has pretty much climbed up really fast as well. So this one is also under $20 stock. So usually 20s and below are the ones that move the fastest, but again, there's risk when you're trading stocks in those dollar range. And we did see a big pullback on Friday, down 6% after a big update on Thursday. So those are the kind of movement you will see. Lily, I've been talking about this in my daily live stream, and this is a nice trend line that it came back above here. I don't know the specific news, but obviously it make a big move here starting on Tuesday, it followed through on Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday it really just didn't give back much at all. And we are now out of this long-term 200-day moving average. So officially it is back in uptrend, building the right side now, coming back up. Here we see more stocks in downtrend: ASTH, ATAC, HRO. Again, a lot of these stocks were doing well, but now they're starting to give back, so very interesting. INCY is still in uptrend. HCA Healthcare, this one is moving nicely right now. We have Agilent Technologies also breaking out from this nice huge cup with somewhat of a longer handle, and again it broke out and followed through right now. Really strong movement right now. ENSG, wow, this is a nice pullback, and then it's starting to come back up. It has a very volatile day on Friday, but it did reverse significantly, so that is not sure what happened here, but that is a very positive reversal. So yeah, looks good. So yeah, there's generally I only look at stocks in the near the top 100, but as you go down, there's still a lot in downtrend as well. Feel free to look at this at your own time. So that's the health group. Next, we're gonna look at the commodities group that also did well this week despite some pullback here on Thursday. We have lots of mining gold, silver stocks here. So let's start with those ones. CDE here. Look at this chart, this trend line. Wow, it's just very nice. It found support along the 10-day many times here. Even recently, it found support again at the 10-day. Now it is slightly the relative strength again hasn't moved this week at all too much. However, it hasn't break down either. So there's some sort, that's the only negative thing for gold stocks this week. And I'll just bring up the gold price quickly here. We did make new closing high on Friday. But some stocks are not showing that, right? So it didn't make new closing high, some stocks. So CDE is an example. Now, it doesn't mean it won't catch up. It did close, near the bottom of the range, but so it's slightly, RS rating, you can see slightly trending down, but that's the only negative thing. But if the momentum continues, I think for the gold price, I think the stocks will continue, right? Most likely. So anyhow, that's the only slightly negative thing. MUX is another one that did really well. Here's support right here, support right here, support right here. So it's still going and making new high right now. It's very powerful right here. So yeah, with HL in uptrend, SSRM, this is slightly underperforming right now. This is in the silver, lead, copper area. Um, I'm not sure why. Like there's mixed signals right now. Not all stocks are following the same trend as much anymore. Like earlier, we see that almost every gold, silver stocks were following the same trend. But with this, I did see some, like I said, slightly, again, the key theme I will talk about, like try to focus more on is the relative strength. Because not all stocks are equal, and especially now, only like one third of stocks are still going. It's very important to focus on relative strength because if some of these stocks that have been in uptrend for a while starting to turn over, the best sign is the relative strength. It's no longer making newer highs on this line, which means it's underperforming the general market, right? So this is one that is, not a good sign on Friday. Shows did well this week. GFI, gold, Barrett mining. This is another one that has done really well until recently. Overall, it's still not like look negative. It's just it was overextended and then now it pulled back. And again, this is another thing. Don't chase overextended stock. They tend to pull back even after being extended. Like very few stocks just keep going higher and higher. You usually don't want to see that because when you see that, it's a climax run. But anyhow, this was overextended and then now it pulled back to the 10-day. So even though it has been sliding, we just came back to the 10-day. But right now it's holding pretty good. It's holding pretty good. We found support right here on Thursday. Friday it didn't move much, but it didn't go down much either. So overall it's still pretty healthy. Yeah. Now because it's still marked downtrend because depends on how I measure it using simple moving average or not. SVM silver price make new high as well on Friday. So did silver cord here. This one is moving. So this is less than $10 stock. So the price movement is going to be much bigger than most stocks. So it started out at $5.21 here and then it bounced off that. And then again, look at this right here at the lows. It never come down to 10-day. This is one of the signs that I follow very closely. The 10-day moving average, how it behaves when it comes near it. If it bounces off without even touching it, that's really strong because that tells me it just doesn't want to come back down and it bounce and yeah, those are potential entry points. ERO, this one is also in the copper area. So we saw earlier copper is doing really well and in the main market video, the copper price also bouncing pretty strong. So this is look at how far is off the 10-day, but in a nice linear fashion, right? So it's just moving up nicely in this slope. So that looks pretty good. This is AU Anglo Gold, another one. So a lot of these are just continue their run. Like you don't even see much of a pullback. They just keep finding support at the 10-day moving average. So not many oil and gas stocks are showing very strong momentum. Like some of them have pulled back and a little bit choppy, but this one continues to go. This is in the refining area. CBR symbol CBI. Another area that has done well is lithium. This is Sigma Lithium. It kind of came out this week on Friday here. Now, partly mostly due to the news with LAC, Lithium America, that potential government, putting money to it and investing in this stock. Again, very strong move on Friday because of that news. Another stock that's also being talked about by, being invested by the government there is USA Rare Earth. So again, rare earth materials. This one also break out pretty strong on Thursday and then fall through on Friday before reversing slightly here. Another area that's doing well, surprisingly, is some solar stocks. So First Solar has been slowly rising. Looks pretty good. Again, finding support at 10-day. Looks pretty healthy here as well. So there's other stocks here: OR, PAS, AEM, and there's one oil and gas here: CRK, FNE, Gold. AGI is slightly in downtrend right now. Rango, Rake. Yeah, so there is some stocks that are in downtrend, and then there's some that are still in uptrend. Feel free to study this. The third group that are under accumulation this week is the industrial sector. So we see many areas here. So let's start from the top. KTOS, aerospace defense, making new highs here. Looks really good. And here's the chart. I mean, this one is just very easy to hold. Like most of the time, it's just kind of a nice, nice trend here. It's still going. REZI in the security area, residual. This one also looks really nice here. Look at the 10-day slope here. It found support many times here and still going. Yeah, it's still near highs here, so it looks pretty good. XMTR is in downtrend. FICO, Mod, KRMN, another defense stock. This one also has a nice uptrend here. Oops, let me draw this again. Here you go. And then we have one pullback that very quickly climbed back intraday above the 10-day. We have FTAI in downtrend right now. Fix within 1%. CENX metal processing. And this one also looks pretty good here. This is the uptrend. It did fall below the 10 days slightly here before bouncing back. We have Symbolic in the machinery general industrial group, SYM here, Symbolic. Breakout on Thursday, and Friday was trading pretty tight, didn't give back too much, looks pretty healthy. Volume was pretty high on Thursday as well, so that's a nice breakout. In between here we have CLS in a downtrend. So CLS was one of the star leader here, and then we have this run, we pull back, then we have another small run here, and then since then it just hasn't moved much, and now it's starting to slide below the bottom channel line here, and that's not a good thing. TRL within 1%, TPC also in downtrend, RO, FN, MET, BCO in downtrend. So you can see some of these stocks are starting to give up here. Cohere, VRT, let's take a look. The Coherent here, we can see the nice cup with handle pattern here. It tries to come out, it fell, and then Friday same thing, it comes out, it fell again. So I don't like that. VRT, very similar pattern, except this one looks better. It broke out on Wednesday, Thursday make new high, Friday it gave back very little. So this look a lot more promising. Next we have TEL, ESLT, VMI, Hawkin, IRM, XYL. Those are all still in uptrend and making new recent highs. We also have J and heavy construction, MPO here. So yeah, overall still looks pretty healthy, some of them. The next group we're going to look at is technology. We have App Living at the top here. So this one has been doing really well on the 10-day moving average. A couple of times it tested it early on, and then here we found a bounce there, and now we're pulling back once again to the 10-day. So it was quite a little bit extended here, and then now we're pulling back to 10-day and see how that works out. Next we have CIEN and MU. Here's telecom fiber optics. This one looks really nice as well. Here's a 10-day moving average, finding support there many times. Micron Technology, this one also very strong. Recently pulled back to near the 10-day and then bounce off it, and look at all these ends, the black dots, meaning there's accumulation with volume as well as it goes up. This group is definitely, data storage group is one of the strongest group. Let's continue with this group. We have Seagate Technology, STX. This one also still running, although it pulled back slightly on Thursday, Friday after being like a little bit overextended. We have WDC, this one, Western Digital. Look at this run here. It's also very strong. Again, we found support here at the 10-day before it bounced once more. Here's SanDisk also in that area. Look at this bounce. Very similar chart. They all had a recent pullback not that long ago during that 3-day market pullback, and then they all bounced. And this one also has lots of ends here. And then another one is PSTG. This one is not looking as strong recently, but it is, bouncing a little bit. Did pull back stronger on Friday though. We have momentum here within 1% of the moving average. Pro is downtrend right now. SITM still in uptrend. Live 360. This one is a nice and steady stock here. We do come down and test 21 days sometimes. 10-day here, 21 day near there, 21 day near there. So it's a nice low, momentum stock. Rambus, Credo, both starting to pull back more now. Look at Rambus here. So Rambus has this nice run right there, very fast. Then we kind of pull back and we try to bounce once more, and this time it didn't work no more. So and then Friday we started to give up the 10-day here. So when stocks start to give up their 10-day, especially on huge down day like a big bar, I usually stay cautious because and especially if we close like very near the bottom of the range. So that's another sign of weakness because it just got rejected heavily. Especially like when you try so many times to stay above the 10-day and you just couldn't, or you try and try and try and it doesn't move. And remember, we have a very good week for the market. Imagine we have a bad week for the general market. The stock usually will follow that direction, and that could lead to even further downside. Okay, so what am I looking at? RS line is going down pretty sharply here. Here's Credo. Again, this one pulled back, start to fall apart, 2 weeks ago, and the bounce is so weak, like it's not even, comparable, like compared to the previous stock. Like this one didn't even stay above the 10-day, and look at this heavy rejection here. Huge bar down from the 10-day, and close at the bottom, right? When I see that, I usually that's a heavy red sign, yeah. And we have NATL, SMTC, still trying to go. So this is SMTC here. Didn't do much recently, but all of a sudden we start to see a move right here on Monday. But it did reverse pretty strong though. And then on Tuesday, we saw this big update. So I'm not sure if there's specific news, but since that day, it has been really falling through. Now Friday it reversed a little bit after making new high, but that's not too bad. It only gave up 1%. And we have LSCC in downtrend. AudioEye and FICO did pretty well this week, so they shot up the ranking here. Let's take a look at AudioEye. So this one has been, again, some of this I would say is lacking, right? Because they haven't really been moving recently. So this is a good example of that. Friday tries to come out, but it got pulled back to the bottom range. Overall, it's still up for the day, so we'll see if it can fall through next week. FICO has some big news this week. I'm pretty sure it was Thursday when the government says, hey, they might use FICO credit score going forward in some scenarios. So that gives this, a really strong momentum right now and clear the 200-day moving average black line here. Yeah, so it's falling through on Friday, so that looks really good. Next, we have Reddit in a downtrend right now. This is one of the few stocks that have gone, sharply down. Here is the trend line down right now. Very steep, very steep. I mean, it got rejected here at 10-day, pretty big bar, and then it followed through the next day. And look at the bounce. When the stock is going down, look at the bounce because it can't even come close to the 10-day. This sliding 10-day right now. Again, just like when you're going up, you watch the 10-day how it reacts, right? Same thing. When it's going in a downtrend, the opposite direction, when it bounces back, is it coming near the 10-day or is it not, right? In this case, it just doesn't want to come back to it. So it's just another very bad sign. And there's Zeta and Google here in downtrend. Google we cover in the main market video. We have Marvel, ANET here, GDRX, Billy. Some Chinese stocks are doing still good in uptrend. Manpower still in uptrend here. Palo Alto also in uptrend, making new recent high. Oracle downtrend, BZ downtrend. Anyhow, a while ago we also covered in the main market video, not making much of a move. And you can see here there's more downtrend stocks here. The Zscaler making new recent highs, so that's coming back a little bit. Duolingo also trying to make a move right now, coming back. But yeah, the big one, we talk about in the main market video, Palantir, just got hammered on Friday. So yeah, please watch that video. You want to see the chart analysis on that. But here down here is just all downtrend stock. Next section here we have retail, also not very heavily accumulated this week. We have UNFI, which is wholesale food area, almost more of a defensive to me when we see food processing moving. But anyhow, this one is doing well right now, very strong uptrend. But we're seeing lots of stocks up here in the downtrend, which is not a good sign. CPS, Glow is still going okay. This Glow Corning is Apple supplier, so the stock chart looks still healthy. It's able to find support in the 10-day and riding the 10-day still. So this one still looks healthy. But a lot of them is side, and we talk about Tesla as well in the main market video, just sliding as well. RSI in downtrend. Even the service education, which has been doing well recently until this week, is starting to give back now. So which is not good as well. API starting to pull back right here. LPE it's also pulling back. ATGE also pulling. So the whole group is pulling back this week. WWW is in downtrend. Roku is still holding up. HTHT downtrend. SE downtrend. GIL is moving up here, new high. EXPE downtrend. TKO down. So again, it's not doing well. STR is still doing okay in the education area, so that's the outlier there. PetSmart still doing well. MNST also doing well. But yeah, lots of downtrend stocks here, so not a good sign. Finally, we have financial. You can see not many are making new highs here. One stock here, SII, which is doing really well. Sprout investment management area. Nice cup, and then it start riding. Here's the 10-day slope, and it's been riding that really nicely. Look at this right there. It does not want to come back down, and then it bounces. So that looks pretty good. But overall, you see all the stocks, like the ranking are pretty low. Like the first financial stock is ranked 59 here. STNE, that's in the downtrend. Look at this. This is like sliding below the 21-day now. This I don't know why the financials are doing so bad. ARMRK, this is kind of precious metals related, I believe. So it's still doing okay, that one. NU, FCFS, SAN, even bullish. This is an IPO stock, and this one hasn't done well either. Like tried to come back out on Thursday, but Friday it reversed. It still have a potential because it's still above the 10-day, but it's just not as strong. So yeah, I don't think I will spend more time on this, but I mean the fintech area, SoFi, Affirm here. I mean this is a straight downtrend for Affirm here. Like look at this again. I don't like seeing big red bar from the moving average when it get rejected. SoFi, this one is now near the red line, the 50-day moving average. So sometime they will find support and bounce. So we'll see if that will happen here. But yeah, even Chinese stocks that occasionally show up, stocks on the move in the morning when I do my live stream. Futu, even this one got rejected heavily on Thursday. But it tries to come out and just got pushed all the way back down and hitting new lows. So that just shows financials are just not having a good week at all, like really bad. So here's the list, but again, I'm not going to spend time going through it just because there's really not much to talk about. So thank you all for watching this week. Recap of the growth stocks list again. I just want to say I'm seeing there's still stocks running, and health came back again. The gold, silver, like even commodities area, gold, silver, like I'm starting to see mixed signals, right? They're not moving as in sync as before. Now that could change, and they could start moving in sync again. But I'm just starting to lose more and more confidence. And health generally are considered defensive, especially if it's not the biotech group, right? So so we'll see. We're seeing lots of health stocks, that are moving up, especially large caps. because so this is a healthcare sector, so it's a very big move right now. So and a lot of them, are not on my list because they just don't have the strong earnings that I'm looking for. But that group is moving. And we talk about Lily, but there's other ones like, so lots of other large caps, and but they're not on my growth stock list because they just don't have the strong fundamentals. But they are moving, and whenever defensive move, I get a little bit cautious because is the market preparing for a slightly more negative tone moving forward. So I hope I hope this video you find useful. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a good